a historical fact, bro.
What is happening?
No, what's a historical fact is that
That should remove him from the stage.
ranching culture in South Texas, in large South Texas, was encouraged by the original Mexican vaqueros from Spanish Town.
Exactly.
But the cowboy tradition in West and East Texas is black.
Marshall, you want to know where I'm born, Marshall? You're born in fucking in Marshall.
What part, bro? What part, bro?
In Texarkana, Texas.
No way. You were born in Texarkana?
Nah, I've been in Houston all my life, but I'm born in Whiteley Hospital in Texarkana, Texas. You feel me? I'm from a family of cowboys and farmers. You feel me? Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't even. Why am I even addressing that shit?
You can ride a horse, Rob?
Yes.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I can ride a horse. That's a perfect man right there. What's up, baby?
But then you're not an original cowboy. You have become a cowboy. You're a cowboy of
Man, you ain't an original American, man. Get your
I'm not even American, no. No, I'm African.
What the fuck you doing on the stage then?
I'm Somalian.
Man, you the worst of the Africans, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, put him down.
Why am I the worst of the Africans?
Yeah,
Why am I the worst of the Africans?
Let's focus a little bit. Rob,
I can just see it from a clear perspective since I'm not American.
Just chill out, man. It's all good. You'll be able to talk in a minute. Rob, do you feel that Trump is a king or a dictator? Let's assume.
No, he's not a king. No, he's not a dictator. What
He's just a normal president.
He does have fascist-like moments, but he's not a dictator nor a king. Unfortunately, his rhetoric is dangerous in my opinion. But no, he's not a dictator or a king.
Right.
So anybody asking me, you ain't gonna see me at no king's protest, man. I got bigger fish to fry.
All right. That's the spirit right there.
I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. Anybody?
And y'all know it's fuck truck with me.
Anybody else think that Trump is a king or a dictator? Who wants to speak or no? Or you can tell us why he's not if you want to.
He's the man. He was an elected president.
Anthony, the beauty of this is literally America's institutions are containing a quote-unquote dictator right now, if that's the case.
Yes, exactly. How is it that the king listens to the court? Why does the king listen to the Supreme Court? Like, make it make sense. It's so odd, bro.
The king listen to Congress?
Trump is a puppet of Israel. They're just pulling the strings and putting him as puppets.
Fucking nonsense, ignorant point of view that doesn't take into account how American elections are funded.
It's not about the lawsuits. It's about how
could possibly
that's not what I said.
it's about how the cabal works.
Y'all thinking
way which you were unaware of, and so of course you're going to make the ignorant statement that Israel funds our elections like that.
It's not Israel who funds it. It's the Jews that do it through other institutions.
Like, come on, man.
Institutions in America itself.
Do the right thing.
It's not from Israel only.
This is an American conversation.
Yeah, do the right thing, man.
You need to do a bigger deep dive on how candidates get funded. I've got a suggestion for you. It's called the Federal Election Commission. You can type it into Google and you can read different candidates' campaign finance reports, which is literally in this country how we fund elections, which is why your ignorant, no American, no nothing makes no sense.
Where do these funds come from, if I may ask?
Can I say something about that?
Where do these funds come from? It used to be called the No Nothing Party.
Oh, man, come on, this man admitted to being Somalian, man. Hear the shit on the continent of Africa.
I'm here for the fuck day.
Rob, you're a racist. You're a racist,
I am kind of racist, man. I don't give a fuck about it, man.
Well, I hate black Americans.
I beat your bitch ass.
Because you guys, like 5 centuries, you've been in America, and you have made zero progress. You know what? You guys have made zero progress. You guys have made zero progress as a black people in America. And look at the white
You're
people.
putting me in a very bad
All the technological advancements. The white people and the
great.
ask
black
you.
men
Hey,
is out there.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Flying
Government.
first choice, and then also
I told you, man, get this
Not even about
But to carry on a conversation with KK.
Black of, I know, right? Is this black of?
yeah, I had to note that guy down. He was just.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Anybody that says they
so interesting, man.
Yeah.
You're Rob. The solution is not to silence this dude. The solution is to contradict what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? That's the solution. To shut him down with facts, Rob. It's not simple enough to just kick him off the stage.
You my dog, as many times, as many times as you done kicked me out of that one room, we ain't finna do that. We not finna do that, yo, dog.
Oh shit, he's paid
Yo,
to
Rob,
call you out.
I admit, I couldn't kick you out your tongue, but we was at war and it wasn't productive. But what I'm saying is
Ain't been productive since he came in here, yo, dog.
alright, listen, Rob, when you got a point, I can't lie. You got a point. But here's what's up, man. My humble opinion is right now, the more elevated, I was ignorant back then. I was unenlightened. I was a part of the unwashed masses. I'm enlightened now. Alright? I think the way to handle this dude would be to contradict what he's saying with the facts. I don't want to just silence the dude. If we can have a back and forth, or you can have a back and forth with him and say, well, the reason why I disagree is X, Y, and Z, and shut him down.
Man, I ain't talking to no broke ass Somalian.
Black Americans, man. I was talking to you wanted to defend.
I ain't talking to no broke ass Somalian. So I'm talking to white I'm talking to white Americans. I'm talking to white Americans. We talking about American ass shit. If you a Somali American, I fuck with you. If you a Somali that ain't on that weird shit, I fuck with you. But the Somalis that be on this app representing y'all land be on some real life weird shit, and everybody in the world knows it.
And that's cool, bro. I know Black America's on some weird shit as well, you know.
Hey, and there's a lot of weird ass niggas on this app.
Everybody needs to be in this word.
You're not lying. It's some weird ass. For the sake of the room, I'ma say it like you said it. It's a lot of Black Americans that's weird on this app. I'll agree. But the Somalis are known to be trolls. That's just what it is.
Let's be productive. Let's have a good ass conversation.
Sure, so let's be productive.
Right.
I looked up the Somali congresswoman in America, and I went to Federal Elections Commission, and then I went down the list, looked for financial summary, found itemized individual contributions at $1,052,715.82. I click on that. They give me a results study per page. Ask Blue, Ilhan Omar for Congress. Ask Blue, Ilhan Omar for Congress. You can click on each of these and they will tell you.
Oh no, not blue.
Well, the point was to access that. Zalik Mulugeta, Ilhan for Congress, donated $500.
That's not an American name, is it?
Probably not, but he can still donate. Act Blue has donated a lot to her campaign. We'll see what else. Stuart Howard donated $10. Salif Suleiman donated $30. Sorry, I'm trying to make a point. If you just let me get this out. None of these
That's what she said.
None of these say Israel. None of these say Jews.
That's what he said.
So
Right, sorry.
I would like us to have a more enlightened financial disbursement conversation, since we can go to the Federal Election Commission and read different members of Congress's campaign expenditures.
Thank you, Marshall. Matt.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people in this room are trying to claim, at least in the chat, that Donald Trump was a dictator or a king, and I wanted to do something here I've never done before. I want to actually agree with those people.
What have they done?
Yeah. I want to agree with them because it was Donald Trump who said that, if you don't take the vaccine, you lose your job. It was Donald Trump who basically said if you don't take health care, you have to pay a fee. And because of, and I think we should all agree, anyone who says something like that, that's what a dictator does. A dictator says, if you don't do this, here's your consequence, and you have to do it, and takes away your right for doing it, to basically live free. So the fact that he did those things makes him a dictator, and, I'm just disgusted by it.
And I just like to
Is
piggyback
there
on
any
that.
date? Is there any date on when that statement was made? In other words, I'm wondering if it's early COVID or it's later COVID or just in general.
It wasn't Donald Trump. It was Obama and Biden.
It was Biden. That was the whole point. Oh, and then, wait.
Trump is the best president the U.S. has ever had.
Did Donald Trump, I think he said, Kamala, we're not going to have a primary, so you get to run for president, right?
That's the fact that Trump did it. Look, in 2022, when Donald Trump was president, or end of 2021, he made this whole claim about people losing their jobs. He forced people who work in the federal government to get a vaccine, otherwise they get fired. And that's disgusting, because that takes away your rights. I mean, you shouldn't be forced to do something, but the fact that he did that, it makes him a dictator and a king. And the people who are today who are protesting about it are right to say that, because anyone who would do something like that is definitely taking away your rights. And then if you also look at it with the healthcare thing, right? I mean, I have to take a shitty healthcare, otherwise I got to pay a fee or a fine if I don't do that. Like, these are just disgusting things, and Matt, we should call a spade a spade.
I agree. Matt, can I respond to that really quick? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
All right. So, if the federal government puts into effect a rule that if you don't do X, Y, or Z, you will lose your job. That is not forcing someone to do something.
That's not a law.
Okay, bro. I didn't say anything about a law. All right? So workplaces have rules, and they can enforce those rules. It's just that simple. Your workplace could say, certain social media posts will get you fired. That doesn't mean they forced you to do anything. They just have a standard that they want you to adhere to.
Anthony, but what about forced on private institutions? I can understand the justification slightly. You could possibly make the argument for publicly funded institutions because they're funded by the government. But for private institutions, if a president is saying, hey, look, you as a private institution must force your customers, clients, whatever, to take the job. I mean, I don't see it any different as forcing individuals directly to take the job.
I just want to read this from ChatGPT just to correct this guy. So his administration issued several large-scale vaccine mandates. What the fuck is a mandate? Dictators do that. Anyway, for specific sectors such as federal workers, large employers, and healthcare staff, which were met with significant legal challenges. Well, according to you, there should be no legal challenges because obviously it's a private sector. They're allowed to do what they want to do, which is a stupid idea. The administration ended these policies in 2023. So you gaslit just now that it was private sector, private companies when it actually was federal.
Point after point. We're going to have a conversation.
Right, so I'm not done speaking. I like you speak.
I never said.
You did. You said.
You made an assertion.
Everyone heard you say.
As succinctly as possible. Tell me what I said that you disagree with.
Yeah, you cut me off
As
3 times,
succinctly
so
as
I'll tell you.
possible. Don't read ChatGPT.
So I'll tell you. Can you shut up, bro? Can you shut up? I was talking, and then you cut me off.
I was talking, and Beeman.
I'm in on a part of what you said. It's not a law.
I was the one who was speaking.
You're sitting in
And then you chill out, bro.
Now you shut the fuck up. Alright? I'm right there. I can match your energy. You ain't working. Fuck you. Everybody chill. Everybody mute. I don't know what's going on. Who's that? Alright, y'all. We have a civilized discussion on this. Who just said it? Oh,
mixed up there. Let's let King Nav just finish up with what he's saying, and then Anthony, you can rebut it if you so choose.
I vote for Anthony.
But you have to clarify, King Nav. Be really succinct in what you said, so he understands exactly, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And don't make it long either.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the claim that I made is that when you mandate, the federal government mandates someone, which is what my claim was at the beginning that was responded to, is that the President of the United States mandating people to take a vaccine, and there's an outcome to it. You can be fired, you can lose your job. The response I received was, private companies can mandate, can say what they want to do. That's not taking away your rights. But actually, if you read everything that was done, it was mandates for specific sectors that he put in, and they followed suit on it. And he also said that Institute would lose funding, would lose tax breaks and other things that they have. I mean, you could read it. It's in his executives.
Okay.
So that was what I was pointing out, saying that that's signs of a dictator. And I'm against those kinds of things, and I hope you are too. That's it.
Hey, Anthony, go ahead.
My response to that is that you didn't originally use the word mandate. The word mandate changes nothing. It really, literally changes nothing. All right? Citizen corporations, they can reject the government funding. They can understand that they're going to lose their job. I'm a registered nurse. There were plenty of registered nurses that were mandated by our employers to the jab, and they refused. They made a choice. They made a decision for their lives. That's not a king or a dictator. All right? You forcing someone, holding and giving them something they don't want, that's a king or a dictator. Putting people in if they don't do something, that's a dictator. You're talking shit. What you're saying does not make sense. People have choices. Someone? You have a choice.
So the federal government, when you're federal government, and you say, if you don't do this, you're fired.
Yes, that's a choice.
You're changing a mid-term. Perfect example, the military. When the military member signs on the dotted line, swears in, they have a list of vaccines that they have to take, and they make sure they know way ahead of time so you can claim your religious exemptions or blah, 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 blah. They signed it, they did it, but then they contract, if you say it now, you have to. That goes against the contractual terms that you already signed and approved them, and with a dedicated time for your difference. That's it.
Beautiful, KK.
You can't do it. You can't do it in the middle.
Yeah, so KK, beautiful. Thank you for saying that. But KK, within that contract, they have unforeseen circumstances, emergent circumstances. Within that contract, there is language for that. There is leeway for that. It's just that simple. To pretend like it's only one way would not be true. Again, if you are held down and forced to do something against your will, that is what a monarchy looks like.
Anthony, I agree with you, actually. I want to ask you this question. Do you believe in our United States Supreme Court?
Yes, I believe in the Supreme Court.
Okay, because the Supreme Court actually ruled that the Biden mandate was unconstitutional and violated rights of people. So I guess unless you know more than them, you can actually read it. You can Google it and read it. So it says the Supreme Court blocked. Hold on. So the Supreme Court blocked one of Biden administration's vaccine mandates, but it upholded another one. So it upholded the one you talked about. But so court blocked OSHA, a rule that would have required business with 100 or more employees to ensure their workers were vaccinated or tested weekly. The majority ruled that OSHA exceeded its authority by regulating a broad public health issue rather than a specific workplace hazard. But it upheld it in a separate 5-4 ruling. The court ruled that a mandate for healthcare workers at facilities receiving Medicare or federal funding, the court found that DHS had the authority to ensure safety. So let's hedge this. We're both right. Okay.
Okay, cool. But no. Wait, all right. Time out. I didn't still say anything that's related to OSHA, but just hear me
It's a
out, man.
presidential mandate. You said it's not a violation. Of course, don't do that. KK, go, take it over.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. We're talking about concepts here. I am saying unless someone is forced, we are not living under a dictatorship, a monarchy, a kingdom. We still have the Supreme Court. But I don't know if you were in here or not in here. The point that Matt made, the point that I made, is how's this king, this dictator, listening to the Supreme Court? My man Marshall chimed in with, how is he listening to Congress? You know, people like to make up points. It suits their narrative.
We agree.
The Supreme
Anthony,
Court,
we
so
agree.
we have a process by which, we have a legal process by which the Supreme Court came down with a ruling. No one forced, and this, mind you, they were talking about your king, Biden. They were addressing his shit.
I'm not
even Trump's shit. They were talking about
Anthony, I
Biden's
was being
shit.
sarcastic, by the way, about that. So I was.
Okay, cool. I didn't know
just
you were being sarcastic.
I was doing this whole thing. I was doing this whole thing, Anthony, because my point to people is that you had someone that was essentially attempting to use, and you're right. I mean, this is not even the OSHA claim is not a dictator like thing. It's hey, I'm trying to flex my muscles with the federal government. The point I'm saying is that these people at that time didn't say no king. They said Biden all the way in. I'm all in. And I was joking when I said Trump did it because Trump wasn't president in 2022. Even Obama trying to force people saying if you don't get Obamacare, then you're going to be taxed because you didn't get it. Well, I don't want Obamacare. I want private health care. It's like those things you could say are more dictatorial than most other things that Trump has done. But those people didn't go and say, hey, I'm going to protest outside no king. They were jumping on board with the king.
That's fair enough. Thank you for clarifying. I just want to land here with Obama. Just real quick, Matt. So I just want to land with Obama. Obama literally said that he could kill any U.S. citizen anywhere in the world without due process. This is what the Obama administration stood on. All right? Mind you, if Donald Trump was to say half of that, you guys would lose your everlasting minds. Thank you for...
And yeah, I would add also to what Anthony's saying, and this is kind of what he was getting at too, was that they weren't there physically forcing people. Like, that's when you start into the dictatorship, realm. Because a dictatorship has a good enforcement arm. Like, people physically going to your door and, sticking a jab in you. That's definitely going to be in that realm, you know what I mean? So that's kind of I think, kind of what he was hitting on maybe a little bit there, is that would be considered a dictatorship that way. But,
Matt, but also... Before even OSHA could even set any standards of what is allowed, what is not allowed when it got in regards to the vaccine and COVID, it was the White House telling OSHA that they have to approve this. So you have the White House tell OSHA that they have to, even though they didn't want to state a position on it, because then it all comes down to liability and business insurance. So I'll put the link in the chat where it states that Biden's the one that directed OSHA to make that mandate.
Well, and don't forget, there was a healthcare mandate where if you got healthcare, great, but if you don't, guess what? We're going to tax your ass. So, there's that too, which actually that's called socialism, right?
No, that's not socialism. We have the right. Just listen. We have the right. Don't do ourselves good service when we label everything as socialism. It's got a stricter meaning. If we stuck to the stricter meaning, it wouldn't. Yes, it's an epithet, but it's an epithet that for folks on the other side, and I know a lot of them because I do campaign work, and you tend to know people on both sides. That just doesn't. Unless they're already on your side, that doesn't come across well. People have told me it comes across too preachy. It comes across too much that's not actually socialism. It's leftism. European style, like social democracy. But the only reason those social democrats are allowed to do what they're allowed to do is because they're allowed to donate more of their fiscal resources toward social programs because we provide their military umbrella.
Marshall, I wish the left had their equivalent of you who could say, stop using the word fascist because it's not actually fascist, but unfortunately they're all unified using that word. George W. Bush was a fascist, now they love him. It was great,
Yeah, George W. Bush was called Hitler.
But, but other Republicans, what I'm saying is we didn't push on them, we didn't do anything, we just complacently, it's okay, and so the point I'm getting at is that the left does it all the time. Please don't police us when we say, looks like it's socialistic in nature. Okay, maybe it's not socialism, but you're forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do, and the whole point, and Obama said it, the whole point is, in order that we want to create enough revenue by taxing the people who don't want it, that it can help pay for that's socialism. We want to pay it's one solution for everyone, one size fits all.
Redistribution.
Right. And redistribution. So, he basically said it, and so yeah, it may not be the token definition, but man, when we use these things, man, you gotta understand, we're coming from years of being called fascist and this one, then suddenly, George W. Bush is no longer fascist, he's a great friend to Obama, amazing.
Yeah, I guess I was more wishing people would be a little bit more accurate with it. I think it carries more potency when it's more accurate, that's all. I really genuinely do think the potency of the insult carries a lot more when it's not used to describe every little thing Democrats do. But I could be wrong. So.
Yeah, I would say more of what they do is rooted in the concept that one size fits all. Just want to be honest. And they believe in a holistic. I mean, we gotta be honest. People on the left and people who are Democrats believe in a national solution, except for voter ID. Amazing, but they believe in a national solution to everything. They believe that the health of someone in New York and the health of someone and the healthcare needs of someone with cold weather and all that stuff is the same as someone in Texas, where weather and other things are different. They believe that someone in Texas should pay more because asthma is more rampant or other health challenges are more rampant in New York because, hey, we're all in this together. We all have to. That's the reality of what they believe in. So you could call them a socialist party.
What I was going to try to say was a couple of things. One, the Republicans saving grace the Democratic Party, right? Like, we got our crazies, and they look pretty bad, but you stick our crazies next to their crazies, and their crazies make it look even worse. That's thing number one. I think thing number two is when we become the majority, the Democrats discover small government. When the Democrats win, the big government is the way to go. Now, at least the Republicans have been honest. Well, this kind of small government thing we were to for a long time, we're not, because we're spending like drunken sailors, and we're using federal largesse. At least we're a little bit more honest about using federal largesse. But they then claim to care about limited government time they're in the minority. And when they're in the majority, they don't care about limited government. By example, my little brother does space, aeronautics, and the FCC. He's like, hey, we should pare down the executive power. Right? He's a Republican. He's like, let's just pare down the executive power. They got too much anyway. And he didn't get any of the Democratic committee members to agree with it. Because why? It meant they would give up power for their executive. And now both sides do this, but my point is, those are some chief criticisms I have that opposing side. And lastly, I was privileged enough to sit down on a conversation with a couple of chiefs of staff, and one of them was a Democrat, and the Democrat said, the Republicans have y'all got your problems, but the Republicans managed to have a side that doesn't eat themselves so much, and a side that eats themselves, and she used herself as an example. She said, she gave an example where she was in a meeting, and she asked somebody if they were slow. Not like short bus, like back of the bus slow, more like, did you not comprehend what I meant? And so there was an activist in the meeting, and there was a like somebody else in her office, and she's the chief of staff to a Democrat from the East Coast, and she said something effective to me, like, they thought I was calling people retarded. And they said, you can't use the word slow, right? Like, they eat themselves. As much as I am for moderation and for doing that, you get me on a partisan kick, I have a whole bunch of complaints.
Thank you, Marshall. I'm just gonna open up this
You don't often, problem is you don't often hear me complain. I don't like to complain very much. I try not to.
DJ Smack, are you there? PC, welcome to the stage. Last, you haven't spoken either. I don't know if you want to speak on anything that's happened so far. And welcome back, Pepe.
Salute to the room. I'm just listening.
All right.
I'd like to, I got a brief question. What does everybody think about the fake, JFK, who supposedly was supposed to be for our health and doing all this wonderful shit, just, basically...
RFK.
That's what I meant. Why'd you have to correct me?
Because we were abused.
It's fair enough. Thank you, KK. I guess I was just there was a correlation there in my mind, but I'm gonna say what it is because I'll get in trouble. But you guys could draw the parent. You could do it. Okay. But anyway. So this guy is supposed to be for our health, whatever, and Trump just signed this executive order, I think it was in mid-February, which is just like, hey, look, we need Roundup, and we need to make sure we push the production of Roundup, and it's for national security purposes, because we need to make sure everybody that is listening to this is getting cancer if you're in the United States. So what do you guys think about that? Was that a bait and switch? Did we get bait and switch from this guy that's now supported? Like, let's say, like, well, come on. What are we thinking? What do we think about Trump saying, yeah, national security, we can't move to healthier options because Roundup, was he bought and paid for? Is it really about national security? Is it about something else? Is he being controlled? I don't know.
Things that make me go,
Oh, come on, no biters. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the health and the welfare of our citizenry to move to healthier food options. Being poisoned, you guys are just gonna sit by and, well, I mean, I guess you fucking deserve it. What else? Yeah. No, but right. What do you mean aggressive on this Saturday, Kicker? You gotta catch me on a Sunday, man.
Like,
What y'all about to do with y'all Saturday, man? Y'all about to hang out on Clubhouse?
chilling on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, the same shit you're doing, brother.
What up,
I wasn't
mother?
being critical. I was asking, what are y'all doing for the weekend? Damn.
Sorry, Blake, I came in kind of hot, my bad.
Everybody's coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. I just got done working. I've been listening to y'all, the track with y'all while I was working. Now I'm about to go to the store, some shit around the house, make some cookies, chill with the kids, listen to the 90s shit.
So I'm listening to y'all in the background as I'm doing work prep, looking at the market, trying to find, new companies to target. So I'm just doing market research while y'all are at.
Yeah, I'm over here working as well. I had some title searches to do. You guys are fucking hilarious.
Did you get your answer, Block A?
Oh yeah, I got a little bit of testament. It's, y'all, we like, fucking, it's almost like being at Thanksgiving dinner, like every fucking day with
with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got the crazy uncle, you got the fucking, you know, you got the fucking slutty fucking auntie.
Name some names, Blake. Who are we talking about?
No, man, don't try.
Oh, you gotta put a headshot on it.
And you got the king.
Fuck that. I think I might be the crazy uncle. But I don't know.
I'll put one headshot on it. Bruce, drunk enough.
Or David Bobadilla is the second nominee for.
I can do one. I think it's safe to say. I think it's fucking safe to say that Sarah and crazy girl, that motherfucker with.
Yeah, correct.
That person, whoever that was, yeah.
I agree with him. So, man, thank you, Black Egg.
Did BB come up with Black Egg? Is that where that came from?
Yes, it's classic. I hear it.
Black Egg was the kid B, you know, the T-shirt in the school, in the class was like, be nice. A.A. Ron, where are you, A.A. Ron?
Be nice.
In the Matrix. Does anybody want to explain to me what exactly the Ukrainian guy was talking about when he was saying that Russia took photos of our our region 3 days before or days prior to us going into Iran? And what is he saying? That there's an intelligence that Ukraine has, that there was something that Russia was doing maliciously? Does anybody know?
He's trying to get us into so we attack Russia.
When was that? When was that in the state?
Yeah, Ukraine, which is Vladimir Zelensky, made this comment.
Not Ukraine.
Ukraine is
I said Ukraine. What did you hear?
Ukraine.
Oh, why would you say it that way, Casey? Come
Because
on.
that's what I heard.
Oh, you gotta get your ears checked. All right. So anyway, Zelensky basically made a comment saying, well, you know, Russia took pictures a couple of days beforehand, and then Iran went and attacked that naval base, that U.S. base, and Americans got injured. Basically trying to say, hey, Russia's helping Iran. U.S. guys, you need to go in there. U.S. go and attack Russia. He's basically trying to goad us so that we drop a bomb on Russia or do something to Russia for doing it and take something out on them. So he's trying to win his war. I wouldn't really take what he says seriously. I mean, there's been no corroborating evidence. Even the New York Times didn't come out with anything on it yet.
I'm pretty sure that Russia shares a lot of satellite imagery with Iran to make Americans' life a little harder. But I'm pretty sure that the West has been sharing satellite imagery with Ukraine so they can be more effective in their targeting of Russia. Pretty sure that's happening every minute of every day in these conflicts.
Bima, thank you for sharing that link. But that's just the words that he said. But like nobody corroborated. In other words, there wasn't like other intel agencies. Usually like you would have like the, you know, British, you'd have other countries that come out and say, yeah, this is what's the case when these things happen. But no other intel group, no other country has mentioned that. So either Zelensky has specialized access to intel that no one else in the world has of what Russia's doing. Now, maybe they will corroborate it in a few days, but I mean...
Yeah, I'm sorry, King Nav, that's not how things work around here. We don't verify corroborated information. We just take what we hear and see off the internet, and that's true, so you're wrong.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't know that rule.
That's fucking wild. Don't forget, everything you see on the internet is true, no kidding.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Don't forget that's first rule of the internet. Everything you see from some cunt that posts, you agree with it and nod your head.
Ralphie, I guess then, you know, the internet said that Joe Biden was alive, and I guess they were right, you know.
That's it. We're gonna regurgitate bullshit.
That's right.
Ralphie, I just want to make sure, did you? Did you believe what I just said, or did you track it as being
honestly, after hearing you for a minute, everything that you say kind of goes in one ear the other.
Well, you repeated it, so you were listening, so you could be honest. Did you think I was serious about it?
After King, if you haven't heard me.
I was
listening to King. I wasn't listening to you.
Oh, okay. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, King, you see, after King made that statement, I kind of replied to him.
Well, somebody said that there's no corroboration. I'm looking at an article in Israel, and it says
it's on Tom, it's on the internet. Stop it. We believe it. Somebody posted it. We believe it.
Well, I guess Rafi didn't catch it. I don't know. Rafi didn't hear anything I said, but it was just a joke that I made to King Nav. Tom, I'm not sure. He doesn't hear what I said. I made a joke to King Nav, and so now he's. I guess maybe he thinks it's funny and he like people's jokes. Well, no, technically he didn't hear me, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that nobody actually believes what.
And Tom, just so you know, I read the Israeli one. The Israeli one is basically quoting what Zelensky said, but again, they have a vested interest as well. Hey, this is what's going on here, just to let you know. Come on, attack Iran, but none of the other allies, including NATO or anyone, has put out any statements. And this is like 3 weeks old info, because war started about 3 weeks ago, right? And they're saying at the very beginning, Russia started providing this info. So if that's the case, then...
We can spend a little time looking into it, but do we doubt that they're all helping each other to some degree in ways that serve their interests?
They're using each other as a proxy.
Right, so they could be using each other, they could be trying to go, but in the end, the goal of both Ukraine and sharing this information is to get, I believe they'll also share faulty information to the United States to goad the United States into this war. And, if we're going to just say, well, whatever Israel says or whatever Ukraine says is correct, that's how we got into this problem before, where the world just listened to us and we went into, Iraq and all that stuff.
So, King, you want to say that the U.S. intelligence, even the information they get shared with, let's say, like Zelensky, what was shared with, probably over-reviewed it and said this is false. If it shared something, they over-review it and say this is false or this is true. Like, you want to say the American intelligence agency is not smart enough to see from bullshit to what's reality?
Well, I think the intelligence agencies maybe, but the question is, I think we have a unique president that doesn't necessarily trust his own people, and so, I wouldn't be surprised if Bibi called directly to the president regarding Iran and said, hey, they're going to come and they're going to do this, and he already wanted to decimate Iran anyway, and he knew that Iran was involved in maybe, or at least allegedly involved in some of the plots against him and stuff like that. So, it just, you stoke the fire a little bit, because if you look at what Gabbard and others have said, like even with the first Iranian strike, she said there's no proof and there's been no evidence of any issue, that they were even close to getting a nuclear weapon. She testified like a month beforehand. That was the attack last year. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence.
Okay.
And she testified in like 1 month before the big thing that there was no evidence of it. So either she was lying or she was saying what the truth was at that time. And it's come out that, Trump has sidelined her from some of the meetings and the cabinet meetings. Again, I'm not putting down Trump. You want it. The world is going to be a better place if this whole Iran situation is...
Let me ask you a question, King. From which cabinet ministry was she from? From the previous one or from...
Current one, Trump picked her and brought her in.
Trump picked her, okay, that's what I
Yeah.
Okay.
Trump's choice brought her in. And same with Director Radcliffe, right? Radcliffe also testified that he hadn't seen anything. He's the CIA director. He testified that he hadn't seen anything, and then suddenly Trump goes in and bombs those things. In fact, Tulsi Gabbard, you can look it up. She says, I think it was May or April or May of 2025, that Iran is not near getting a nuclear weapon, and then Trump in June attacks and destroys those nuclear facilities, saying they were close. And I think it's because, Bibi, I mean, Trump has other people working with Bibi and stuff like Kushner and Witkoff and stuff, and they probably said, this is what he's telling me, this is what he's telling me. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tulsi went in and was like, sir, what they're saying is not true. Yeah, but who do you trust, you know? If Bibi's saying it, he probably knows something. Maybe he didn't know, maybe he didn't get there, or maybe it's getting filtered, or, you know, whatever.
I don't think it's that way. I don't think Trump thinks that it's imminent and it's happening tomorrow. I think it's a very nuanced conversation about, do we wait until it's happening tomorrow so we can strike them 3 hours before there's a nuclear weapon ready? Or do we wait imminent in terms of it's happening in the next few months, maybe a year, and we don't have windows of opportunities to avoid disasters?
So Tom, before you go down this road, I would recommend you read what Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Security, said to Congress. She put a statement saying they are years, like at least 5 to 10 years away from getting a nuclear weapon. And
That's against all intelligence reporting because it takes a couple of years to make a nuclear weapon from scratch.
And they were significantly hampered in their ability. And then this time when he went and attacked, his claim was also, oh, well, yeah, they were close to doing it, but I thought you destroyed all their facilities in June, right? So
clearly they did it.
But Witkoff reported the now dead Iran negotiators said that they had enough of 6 or 11 or something like that during the very first negotiation.
Correct. What KK is saying is accurate.
So if that's the case, then yes, that would trigger. But if it was not the case, he would have never said that.
But that's what I'm trying to point out.
Yeah, knowing that the U.S. would not have any validation to belong with. But he did say it.
Right, and that's the whole point. I think what KK just brought up is a very important point. Intelligence all around the world said something different. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. But the intelligence that the president received, not from Tulsi Gabbard, not from Radcliffe, but he received from Witkoff and other people who were in there, the president chose to believe those people. Just like, I mean, there's just so much nuance to some of this stuff.
Yeah, so Witkoff believed the Iranian negotiator.
Correct. Yep. And he told that to Trump. But
that was the imminent, right?
Well, that's what the claim is, right? But then Gabbard's claim is, well, yeah, but so do you trust, if national security believes different, right, and other security agencies around the world, and I think that's where the issue comes, is that maybe Iran just said, yeah, come get us. Yeah, we got it. And were they serious? Were they not? Did he see facilities?
So why would they want, knowing that Trump's going to play coy or bluff, but Iran, they already, blew up one main site of theirs. So why would they sit there and say that they have it? If they didn't have it, would they say, like, we don't have it, you guys are bullying us? You already knocked out one of our main reactors, or with the bunker where it's hidden. So the rest of the world would be like, okay, well, they don't have it. But they didn't. They said they had them.
Okay, these are people who jump on planes and kill themselves and to kill others.
No, but they did say, kind of, after they hit them, that they never reached, meaning that it's there. They acknowledged the IRGC that it's there, but the U.S. never really reached the nuclear site. So, like, they kind of doubled down on it.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay. Well, I have a question for King.
What is this?
Well, King, currently the S&P is at 6,400, and that's dropped because of the Iran-Epstein war. My question, King, is the Houthis joined the fight yesterday. What happens if the Suez Canal is closed at the same time as the Strait of Hormuz? What happens to the stock market, King?
I'd like to defer that question to Matt. Matt is more of an expert.
Somebody hurry up and answer me.
Matt, go ahead.
I like to defer to
a bunch of stupid bozos.
A
bunch of stupid bozos yapping on the stage. Gas is already up.
What is
not reclaiming my thought.
Food prices are up.
What's that, Tom?
Close the Suez Canal, your gas will go to $20 a gallon.
What's up, John?
That's the answer.
How are you, John?
That's the answer.
How high can it get, stupid?
Well, that was the question, and no one seems to have any information.
But how high can it
Stupid is a guy trying to talk like a girl. What's
Can I
happening?
finish, Tom? No one interrupted you, Tom. So shut the fuck up. So anyway, if they close both canals, that's going to crush the economy. Interest rates are expected to be lowered. The interest rates will rise. So, don't you understand what's going on?
The Houthis were already.
They're not going to close the Suez Canal.
The Houthis
Oh,
The
okay.
Suez Canal.
The Houthis have a conversation with them and educate them on this stuff.
The Houthis were already involved. They got involved more than 5 years ago under the Joe Biden administration, at which point they struck a U.S. naval vessel.
Marshall,
Correct.
this person could be a potential
Yeah, the
good person for us here. Can you wave at her and explain to her, like, some of these Republican policies?
This is.
I don't believe that it's real close to us.
I don't believe it's a
Yemen
her.
will be closed.
Okay.
The Gulf near Yemen will be closed.
Something tells me this is not a her.
It
It's
leads,
a tool.
it leads to the Suez Canal.
No, it's
It's
a
like-
person from.
The Gulf of Oman leads to the Suez Canal, but people don't travel in these rooms. They don't even have passports or maps. Stupid asses.
Stupid monk.
Guy, he's not articulate or helpful. We're going to get rid of him.
No, I was reason not you. Your name is stupid. I'm not calling you stupid.
So to hear that,
Stupid bozo, stupid bozo.
That's what I was saying, Marshall.
My name is Raja from Pakistan.
I was trying to figure out from stupid, like how high.
By calling her stupid, what do I get out of it?
Yeah.
I got a more contentious conversation with somebody who's already not on our side and somebody who will be even less willing to have a conversation once you call them a moron. Right? That doesn't work to have conversations.
Yeah, but these people have low IQ, so I don't expect much.
But stupid, like, so how much do you think, not us, how much do you think it's going to go up to, like, per
Well, crude is already above 100. So the question is, what will it do at the pump? Because in terms of shipping raw materials, it's already over 100. It's 110 or something. So that could go to 150, 160 easy. Now, let's get to the pump that affects you guys that are in this room. I just got some phone calls from California. People were paying $7.
hey, stupid. Stupid, I get it. Hold on.
If you close both canals, if you close the Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz, you close the Gulf of Oman that leads to the Suez Canal. In terms of shipping, that should drive your price to, I don't know.
But stupid, hold on. There's a guy on this app you need to connect with. His name's Edmund.
King, you didn't want to answer. Can I finish? I'm answering Matt's question. And you're very rude. Very, very rude.
Only on weekends.
Okay, well, that's not acceptable. This is why we're in the shit we're in now. Irresponsible adults that fuck kids and eat kids. Just irresponsible.
Only on Mondays.
Let me finish answering. It's okay. Go ahead, take over the mic.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Jefferson called
Like a bunch of third graders.
Jefferson called one of his daughters a fucking hermaphrodite, which was like calling them a blasphemous term of the day. Right? Of course these people are mean to each other. Like, what universe do you live in?
Yeah, I don't know where they're from.
I think he would have the biggest issue if the Suez Canal would be shut down would be Turkey. And I just believe, what was it, 2 or 3 days ago, 6 Arab nations, not including Turkey, but Jordan, Egypt, the main players right there along the Suez Canal, condemned the Iranian regime for their acts that they've been doing. So if they would try to, like, landlocked, if you have the size of Egypt, and what you have there, Jordan, they're not going to fuck around with that. They know what that means. And then Turkey will kind of get in play too if that bumps in, because that cuts them off entirely. And we'd have to go all the way around. You know, they're already doing land transfer going on right now. So I don't think it would actually happen. And right now, last time it was super high was 2022. It was $120 a barrel. That was divided.
Yes, the Gulf of Aden, that's what I was trying to say. The Gulf of Aden could easily be closed by the Houthis. And then that will send prices not only of your gas, your steak, everything you eat. Fertilizer is already an issue with regarding the Persian Gulf, urea. So planting season in America could be affected by shortage of fertilizer. And farmers may have to say, we'll move on to the next planting season. We'll forego this season. And that would affect you guys here. And you don't even think about that. And I don't want anything to happen to any of you. I want you to have food. Thank you.
I don't think we're at risk of a famine, and I also think California is a bad example. California, through their own internal state regulations, makes their gas go up by at least $1 per gallon, if not more than that. Right? So yes, California will be affected by this. Part of California's problem is California.
Yeah, but I mean, other states, the gas is increasing. They asked me before you got in here, how much do I think all gas would go to if both canals are closed, or both shipping routes are closed? Let's put it that way. All right. So that was the question, Marshall.
Okay, so when I looked up food things, they said approximately, this is 2024, anywhere from 150 to 300,000 forces. But Egypt is considered the largest and strongest military power, and they have a total military personnel of 1.2 plus million. And then they have a paramilitary force, which is 300,000. So I don't think that even that number game of Houthi to Egyptian army, plus, Jordan doesn't have a large army, but they're a little bit more intense swabbing. I don't think that would be an issue that the Houthis could actually combined-wise take over the Suez Canal. But,
okay, good. Okay. That's good for the economy, yeah. Because the economy will get crushed.
Yeah, I was told that for $10 that the price of oil goes up, the price of the gas station goes up 24 cents. So just try to do the math as far as, like, let's just say Iran gets whatever they want, meaning the price of gas goes up to 200, then what would be the estimation of the price of the gas pump? And yeah, it'd be.
Did you hear about the 800,000-acre fire in Nebraska? I need that land to feed the cows that Americans eat. So now we have a problem there, too. I don't know if you guys know about these problems. Soon, you guys are not going to have nothing to eat. You're going to eat each other.
America's
That's what's going to happen.
We should connect you with this
code is not there. This shit not gonna exist in the next century. Watch.
The Chinese will buy
I wanna
America.
know how you taste.
Shut up. In 5 years, the Chinese will be buying America.
And I know the flavor you are. Come on.
Can you stay on the topic, sir?
I'm straight off the topic. You're warning me. I gotta eat you. The fuck is this? I'm preparing. I gotta look up recipes.
Okay, Epstein.
What do you go good with?
I think it's
Let me ask you.
Okay, Epstein.
I know it's a trendy, but what do you go good with?
Okay, Mr. Epstein, shut up.
I want to know what you go good with. Are you saucy? Are you saucy, or you're one of those dry ones?
Fava
Like a dry rub.
Fava beans.
Fava bean.
But why talk like that? You could be whatever you want, but why talk like some kind of a broken 80s recording?
Why are you so worried? Did the tranny give you a blowjob once? I mean, why are you, what was this? Well, then why are you so worried? Why are you so worried?
I'm not talking to a real person.
I'm calling ICE. Hold on. I'm gonna get you out of
I'm
here.
serious.
Yeah, I'm serious too.
I'm pretty
Excuse me, ICE.
distracted by
There's a guy named Tom who has no passport. He's on the stage. Can you come over? ICE arrested 3 mods from another room last week.
I don't live in the U.S. Yeah,
I'm letting you know. I'm still letting them know about you. Hold on.
Guys, I can't listen to that thing. I'm gonna move rooms. Somebody, please.
Well, hurry up and leave. At the top, there's a red thing that says leave at the top. That's how you go to another room, you stupid ass. You stupid ass. You stupid bozo.
Now, where did you guys find this kid?
Oh my God.
what's going on in my area because I do live in a rural farm area. The farmer across the street from me, he's struggling, and then a lot of the farmland in my area is selling off because the younger generations do not want to take on the career of being a farmer because of the cost and especially because of the equipment. The equipment cost is expensive, and then obviously some of the stuff that's going on governmentally. So yeah, we're losing a lot of farmland, and we should be very concerned about it.
But they don't care. This is why I just troll them, because soon you'll be eating Beyond Meat.
Yeah, and Stephen, I don't know exactly who you are, but I've heard your voice for the last couple of years, and I don't know who you are, but yeah, like what you're just spitting right now was pretty true. It doesn't matter who he is or who he or she is, but the fact that, you know, the farmland and the farmers are struggling, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And we should be very concerned about it.
Yeah, we should, to include other countries being able to purchase our land, especially farming land. Jennifer, I don't know if you were aware, but in the background while I was working this week, the White House had a meeting with all the farming kind of big executives, to include the machinery owners, whatever. And then they changed some laws to benefit the smaller farmer, to include that they no longer have to pay the company to come and fix their gear. They can fix it on their own. I guess they were charging them $300 just to like change something, which I didn't even know that was the case. But a lot of the regulations that was hampering the P&L sheets of the farmers that has been adjusted, and to include they took off the estate tax of passing down your farm to the next generation. There were a couple of other things that I didn't even know that was happening, but at least it's turning into the right direction for the farm.
Well, that's good. Thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a big issue until they said, like, yeah, it's like, you're not allowed to fix your own equipment that you pay for.
Do you think there's about, just on my road alone, there's about, let's see, 15, 30, 45, there's 45 acres of land that was recently sold from farms they couldn't afford to continue to farm it, and they're going to develop it into short-term rentals.
So here's my question, Jennifer.
Which is not a good thing in my area, because then that affects the small businesses, and like my town, like literally half of the town is the commercial properties are empty because the small businesses can't stay alive because it's a lot of like second homes and short-term rentals.
So here's my question, Jennifer. Do you think the United States of America should deem farm workers as government employees?
I don't know. I don't honestly know the answer to that question. I'd have to do some research.
It's a low IQ room. They keep muting me.
No, like in my area, a lot of the farm is like, it's generational. Like, you know, these have owned it for decades, and yeah, because the younger generations don't want to on the responsibility and the stress of owning a farm, they are off the properties to developers, and they're turning them into short-term rentals.
Yeah, you guys are gonna starve soon. Your kids will starve.
I'll be okay, but yeah, I'm kind of worried about my neighbors for sure.
Not that it matters.
Yeah, they're going in down the drain.
Not that it matters to them trying to get the cash patel.
What about Cash Patel?
My brother. Iran already had Cash Patel.
Yeah.
Guess who's
You know what was
next?
funny is when he said that, like, I don't understand, like, that is the most crazy, cringe, like, LARPing of a white man I've ever seen. Like, first of all, you're telling somebody who's a devoted fucking Christian, till Valhalla. Like, in other words, like, this pagan bullshit, which is, like, the worst thing you can fucking say to him about him after his death. It was just so weird.
What do you think is going to be next? Pam Bondi, of course. They're going to hack the fuck out of her. Watch.
Pam Bondi can suck my balls.
Yeah, I'd fuck her.
In real life.
Yeah, I'd bend her over and
just find his pee-pee.
Pepe, how could she suck your balls? I mean, have you ever met her? I mean,
It's not that
I'll say,
bad.
I would totally let her. I think she's like quite a bit older than me, but I would probably really enjoy it.
Yeah, I banged your fuck
but how is it going to happen? That's my.
I know. I just said it would be nice. I didn't say it was gonna.
No, I think the better way to say it is that she could suck your balls because she can't until you meet her. Because she could.
Yeah, she could.
Yeah,
she might.
Yeah.
Would you like her on her knees or
Any way she wants.
You know what? I honestly think you should write her a letter and make this offer to her because
Oh, you want to
I know. I don't need to get put on a fucking watch list.
until you do it, she'll never know that you're
Yeah, that's
attracted to
how
her.
you get a visit from the FBI. Nice try.
You have to shoot your
You're
shot.
Miss Pam Bondi. I love hearing you speak. I love watching how your mouth
I'd love
moves.
to bend you over.
It'd be so nice if you could use your mouth on my balls. Please, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I get an FBI.
You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by doing that, okay?
Everything you gain.
Favor? Hello, Matt. Yeah, could you guys do me a favor? I'd like to find out some information about this no brains. What are you guys thinking? I'm in Southern California.
Okay, hold on.
And I'm seeing a lot of protests. So.
Yeah, hold on. We're going to give it to you. Hold on.
All right, hold on. I gotta move someone to the audience. There we go. All right, now we can talk. Hold it.
Jeez. Yeah, Edward, they've been going on. I don't know. There was one down the way from me. Not really a big group of them.
What's been going on, Matt?
Say again?
What's been going on, you said?
Oh, the protest.
no KK protests?
Which one?
No, well, any of them, however many there were all over the U.S. She was asking what they are, what they're, more about it.
There's one in San Diego and it's pretty big.
Yeah, well,
I ran so far away.
Hold on,
The
sir.
Blue State protest.
Sir is great.
Okay, well, I'm in Orange County. My wife and I hit a road trip today from Cypress all the way down to Dana Point, and all the way down the Pacific Coast Highway. There were thousands of people, especially in Laguna Beach.
Wow.
There were probably 2,000 people.
Hold on a second. Sorry about that.
Nah, dude, you gotta do it right, bro.
So I'm just trying to find out. First of all, to my knowledge, the president of the United States was duly elected based on electoral college votes, right? Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay, and we do have 3 founding documents in the United States called the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and our actual Constitution.
Yes, Professor.
So I'm trying to figure out, based on the people that claim to be an American, I saw a lot of signs today that said they want to save democracy. And I thought it says to the republic for which we stand. So I'm just trying to figure out, they talk about kings, they talk about democracy, and I'm just trying to figure out really what's going on. Have we actually lost the value of our actual 3 documents in America?
What you're forgetting is you're talking about some dumb fuck Democrats. That's what you're talking about. So, they're dumb
Well,
fuck.
and not only that, but if you remember when Maduro was caught, they were saying, "Oh, free Maduro, free Maduro," but then they say no kings as far as Donald Trump. It really doesn't make any sense. It's backwards.
We have 3 branches of government in the United States. We have 50 independent governors. I'm just trying to figure out, where are these people from? Are they even from planet Earth? I mean, it's just like, are you serious? Because you're showing your ignorance of how the republic works. And I don't get it. All of us who happen to be conservative, we don't go out and say all the stuff that they're saying. We celebrate the fact that we're free people. Because the last I checked, we hold these truths to be self-evident, not government evident. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know, maybe.
No, you are. It's okay, though.
Wait, he's wrong.
is kind of a
Also, Edward, there's a
delusion,
lot.
right?
There's a
No, hold on.
We are governed, right?
He wants to talk about kids. What's it talk
Hold on, guys.
I mean, how could you talk to me if you don't let me talk? How could you even respond?
Okay, well, somebody was talking because you said it's a delusion or an illusion. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because we are governed by laws, by government. By rules, we are governed. We're not a complete, actual, we don't have total freedom. So I don't know where you're really getting at with your.
What do you think about Edward?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out. So I'm not free? Please explain to me what part of my life is not free.
The one where you are bound by taxes and a social security number and laws. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Shout out to being governed. It's what makes America so much better than I think a lot of other countries is the fact that we are governed. The fact that we do have laws, we do have rules, and if we break them, we go to jail. And shout out to that. A lot of other countries don't have that.
Sure. I want to sure pockets that you say because we have laws and because there's quote unquote government that I'm not free. Because the last I checked, by me following laws, because laws are supposed to be there to protect Edward, not to harm him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, am I missing something? Because I'm also married and I'm bound by those laws too.
Shout out to that.
No, I'm just saying, should I violate that or should I stay focused?
I mean, when it comes to violating that, I mean, that's on your beliefs, but I feel like the idea of freedom to me is just that it's just not real, especially when we're living by laws of I can't go out and go run around and be naked if I want to.
Yeah, that's true.
Step baby, Steve Pepe, you know what I mean?
Why can't I go take a dump in front of, in my neighbor's house?
Exactly.
Me on my balcony, I go to jail.
Why can't I take a shit in front of Starbucks? What's going on?
And I like the fact that you both are saying this, but the laws of nature that exist, which is part of our actual documentation, it's all the laws of nature and nature's God. So even if we did not have regular laws that actually on the books, we will actually obey the laws of nature, meaning that we decent people, because it's the right thing to do.
Were we born with fucking clothes? What do you mean the laws of nature? We're clothes.
Okay, hold on. Patty, I just love the way you communicate sometimes. I don't talk the way you talk, but it's just so interesting. So I'm going to ask you, when did the first set of clothes actually come and why did they come?
Because Eve ate that apple and they were ashamed, so they stopped being naked.
And why did they call it when nature's calling? Okay,
right.
If I have to go poop, okay, that's nature calling. So why the fuck? I mean, that's natural law.
And I think it's a beautiful thing that we're governed, man. We
Guys,
need that
I
shit.
like to sound
Could you imagine? I'm sorry, just to go back to it. Could you imagine if we actually had the complete and utter freedom to do what we wanted? And I mean, it just could. We'd literally be a third world. Honestly, if there was no government, if there was no type of law, if there was no type of structure, if there was no type of, I don't know, wherewithal of, what's right and wrong. So shout out to that. Shout out to being governed. Shout out to having those people in power that actually get to check us and put us in our place when we're being out of pocket, pun intended. So just wanted to say shout out to that. There's nothing wrong.
Good to see you again, Pocket. But
Good to see you again.
okay, so but the biggest part I'm trying to make sure, if I, Edward, hold true to these self-evident, that number one, I'm going to govern myself. I'm not going to violate you. I'm not going to do something to harm you. That's self-government. Okay? So this is what it means. We hold these truths to be self-evident. What are the truths that we hold to be self-evident?
So God, under God's law,
Okay, I was going to say that. Damn.
All right, you guys go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, why can't I watch the Food Channel while enjoying the services of an escort while cleaning my fucking machine gun? But the coppers will knock on my door, take my machine gun away, and take the hookers away, then they'll throw me in jail. That's not fucking freedom. That is bullshit.
To be serious though, you are governing yourself based off of God's laws. So let's just remember that there is another set of laws that you're, holding yourself to a standard by. The morale, the commandments, the treat a neighbor how you want to be treated, love a neighbor like you want to be treated or how you want to be loved or whatever the case may be, whatever that is, the morale that you live off of based off of, God, that's still a law and a government. So this one.
Listen, I'm not for freedom, right? I know that I'm probably something to do different on the stage. I believe in some form of authoritarianism, because I don't want to live like they live in sub-Saharan Africa, right? I don't want a bunch of booty scratchers pooping on my sidewalk. As much as Pepe might want to, Pepe, I don't want you to be pooping in public. I think we should almost criminalize and put people in jail, possibly even death penalty for public poopers. But that's just me.
But you're gonna, okay, if there's ever a revolution, you're facing the wall. That's all I have to say.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute. Before there were toilets, how did people take a shit?